Hi folks, thank you for joining me once again. My name is Nick, we're on the ZX Spectrum, looking at games as per usual. This one is Gunstar, a shooter from Firebird Software in 1987. Also come out on the Amstrad CPC and the Commodore 64. What's the story behind this one? Well, it's 1997. Yes, so it's a bit historic now. But basically, aliens have attacked the Earth in 1997. You think we would have remembered, but I don't think anyone does. And our fleet, the Gunstar fleet, must come to the rescue. So here's pilot number one. His name's Peter Goff and his hobby is reading, so I'm quite confident here. Now it's divided into 5 stages. If I can't get to all of them, I will use a poke so we can see all of them for reviewing purposes. So here's our first ship. Stage 1 is alien fighters, so let's shoot them. They will fire back. Oh, lovely sounds on this one, moves quite well. Also, I do like to see the Spectrum using all the colours. Now you see our fuel on the right there and our temperature. Stage 2, the asteroid field. Now we can't shoot these, we just have to try and manoeuvre around, which is easier said than done. Well, not doing too bad. Oh dear, not doing too bad so far, and I'm dead. Now if you die, you have to start all the way from the beginning again with a new fighter pilot. So who we got this time is Graf Robaz. His hobby is combat, which helps. There's his ship there with a special name. All these fighters are, I think, called pulse fighters. So stage 1 is the fighter stage, as we know. Stage 2 is the asteroid stage. We have to blast asteroids. Stage 3 is a command ship. We must take out some turrets. Then you've got something called the ally robot, which again we have to shoot targets. Who's the pilot this time? It's Rob Walker. Did he used to host catchphrase? Anyway, and he's a surfer. And the last stage you have to dock with a mothership. A bit like Mooncrester, I suppose. Right, so this is our last life. We get 3 random pilots. They're not always the same. Just manoeuvre yourself, Nick. Let's go. They fly in an unusual fashion. Occasionally it looks like they'll collide into each other, but they don't really. Now, did you have this one back in the day? It also come out in the Amstrad CPC and the Commodore 64 as I get blown up to smithereens. I'm not sure if it came out on the Amiga or not. Right, game over. I will put in a poke now, just so we can see the whole game. I will put my name in here. We'll go round a few times and then I'll probably take the poke off again. But there are a few shooters about on the Spectrum, hundreds in fact, and I think this is one of the better ones. Although tricky, like a lot of them are. I will be playing it on joystick, but you can play on keyboard as well, as you can see there. So whatever your favourite app. Some games are better using the joystick, some are better using the keyboard. I find joysticks better on this one. So the pilot was Goff, as you can see he wrote this as well. Who's going to be the pilot this time? The pilot is Rick Kay. His hobby is Death Race, that's a game as well. And his ship name is called that, Dantooine from Star Wars. Take off, into space we go. So we know what to do here, don't we? The alien fighters. Our ship should now be invincible due to the poke I put in. Kaboom! No upgrades or power-ups here. You can't shoot your weapon in the asteroid stage, which is a bit unfortunate. But anyway, I suppose that makes it a bit more tactical. And the stages are really short also. So that's a slight criticism. I think the stages could have been longer. Can we get round here? Yes, I would have died then. Normally, the nearest pixel and you're dead. And I don't think many people would have got past this one. Would I have come back to this game as a kid? I think I would have done. I would have been determined to get past the asteroid stage. And you would have met with this bit. Now, this is an alien command ship. You will see those gun turrets firing there. We must avoid getting shot and take all of those out. You can see the hits on the bottom right. And that indicates how many more hits you've got to go to take out all of these things. Right, the temperature's stabilising there. Graphics are good on this game, sound is good, difficult like all of them. I prefer it to Iridium, to be fair, but I think Iridium was more shown with more nostalgia on it. It was regarded as a better game. Right, now stage 4, the alloy robot, same thing again. I love the shading on that ship, that is great. So take out the gun turrets. There's an alarming amount of stuff that fires at you, I think, although I might be lying here, don't seem to be too much firing at me. good. They've used the colours well. It's made it the Spectrum colours darker than they normally are. Normally they're quite vibrant and pop out at you, but they've done a clever bit of shading there, a bit of flashing on the gun turrets to make them look a bit more evil and dark. Right, this is the last sequence. Should be the easiest one. We just dock with this thing. Docking time. There we go. And I think you get less docking time each time you go round. Now, like a lot of these shooter games, it now goes right round to the start, back on level 1, I think. They should be a bit more difficult. I know when we went to do Phoenix, check that one out if you haven't already, from 1983, it went round. This is doing the same sort of thing. Are these trickier? They might be, but I'm not a great deal trickier. Maybe they're firing a little bit more stuff at us. See about 2 yellow full stops coming at me at a time rather than 1. Asteroid field. This looks very similar. Bimla. Yes. If you've ever flown through an asteroid field, let me know. But there's lots of games that utilise the asteroid field. The very first one, of course, was called Asteroids. From the arcades. It's like a polygon sort of, well, vector sort of game. We've seen this before. Let's blow it up again. Yes. Project X on the Commodore Amiga. That was an asteroid sort of stage as well. You had to avoid stuff. And also, of course, The Empire Strikes Back. Another vector game that come out on practically everything. Ported from the arcades. As shooters go, I like this one. It's one of the better ones. And why is it one of the better ones for me? Well, it moves smoothly. There's a variety of stages. They could be a bit longer, as I say, but graphics are good, the sound is good as well. And it's of an era, 1987. 4 years after Phoenix, though. I prefer Phoenix out of the two. Don't know why. Sometimes a game just sits with you, and you know it's good even beforehand. Just links with elements of your brain, if that makes sense. No, it don't. Well, I suppose it does a little bit. Right, so we'll destroy this thing again, then we're docking. We'll see how many seconds we've got left. It's space, and as we know, everything in space is evil and wants to kill you. But in reality, we scanned the galaxy trying to find life. We haven't found anything. There's bound to be something somewhere hiding behind a lamppost, maybe. Right, let's dock. I think we docked with a big blue fly then. Right, I think we'll turn the cheat off now. Otherwise it'll go on forever. Let's see how long I can last without the poke on. Right, that's got my fuel back. Wish me luck. May the force be with me. Right, hang on a minute. I'm going to have to move the sight to take the poke off. La 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 la. Right, okay, now we should be back in business. Or back out of business. I'm just down to my own skills now, folks, I think. One shot on the backwater and we're doomed. This pilot's had a pretty good existence. Man, there's a lot of stuff firing. I mean, they're doing shots at angles now as well. Whee! Come on. Oh, curses blast. Who's going to be the next pilot? I reckon it's going to be Stan Hobby. Right, it's P. Hawking. His hobby is surfing. Everybody's gone surfing. And his ship's the Giotto. Da 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 ba 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 la ba la ba bum ba dum ba dum ba doo doo dibbity bo ba ba da bo. Dead. Well, that was quite quick. I think we're on the last pilot now, aren't we? Who's going to save the day? It's Ripley from Aliens. She's a surfer as well. Ship name's the Nemesis, and she's from a planet called Pleiades. Yeah. So, yeah, I got that bit wrong before. So it's the ship name, where they're from, their name and their hobby. And that's all you would need to know. But it makes no difference in the ship that you have. But as a kid, you would have liked seeing that sort of stuff. Because when a kid played a game back in the day, and I'm sure you were one of the kids at one point, your imagination adds so much more to the game that's beyond it. There we go. The brain, as you get older, doesn't tend to do much more than that. It doesn't tend to make up stories as you did as a kid, and that's why I think nostalgia and your memories are a little bit deeper. Deeper. Game over again. Well, I think we've probably seen enough of that to get the gist of the game. I'm a big fan of that one. I didn't know too much about it before I reviewed it, but I give that a big thumbs up. So I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was Gunstar on the Commodore, not the Commodore Amiga, the ZX Spectrum. What am I talking about? Definitely on the ZX Spectrum, published by Firebird Software in 1987. A rather cool shooter. Now, what have I done here? Have I put it on another go? I didn't mean to do that. I was just doing my roundup bit and I pressed it. Anyway, let's have a go then. Duh, 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 duh. Just doing my roundup there. It is Gunstar still though, and it's not on the Commodore Amiga. Right, one last go as I seem to press S in error. Right. It's probably going to take longer to upload now. What a fool. Oh, look at that. You can just, you don't have to shoot all of these, it seems. It seems like you can just stay to the left and you'll be okay. Yeah, look at that. You can go up and down the screen as well, as much as you want. You just avoid this mob. Maybe that's the trick. That's the trick to longevity, I suppose. The asteroid field. You don't expect me to go into an asteroid field, do you? Your chances of surviving that are 8,400,000,000 and something or other to 1. Never tell me the odds. Okay, I won't. Why are you talking to yourself? I don't know. Pilot is Biggs from Star Wars. He's surfing. His ship name's the Straker, and he's from that place, Hirach. But Biggs didn't last very long. I'd like to be flying as Porkins. I'm glad this game didn't have the option where you typed in your pilot's name beforehand, because that would have slowed it down too much. There are some games that do that. And then typing in your hobbies, which isn't really relevant to the rest of the game. Yeah. Anyway. Can we do this thing? Come on, Biggs. Biggs. I've got one on my tail, Biggs. Like a lot of shooter games of the year, they didn't put any, well, most of them seem to put an element of Star Wars in there. There's no TIE fighters here, so they've avoided that. The graphics are original, I can say that for it. The ship looks quite unusual. Yes. Next pilot up, they don't last very long. Steiny A, baseball, lightspeed pleader. So, you can see the pilots are random. I don't know how big the database is. We've got no characters from the Wild Bunch here. The Man with No Eyebrows doesn't take a thing, or Elsa Lay. If you haven't seen that game, The Wild Bunch, check that one out. That's a good one. It's like a role play sort of game. It's a text adventure plus. There are extra elements to it. I don't tend to review text adventure games because well, they're a bit boring to review, to be honest with you. There's The Hobbit, we could cover that. It's got quite good graphics in it, but games where it's just pages of text, it's very hard to make that come alive. It's all about having a bit of fun, I suppose. I think that's definitely my last life now. Don't press S again, Nicky. Don't press S again. Right, definitely game over this time. So, as I was saying before, I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was Gunstar on the ZX Spectrum, published by Firebird Software in 1987. Got any comments about that game, anything similar or retro, then please put that below. You're always more than welcome. And a huge thank you to everyone that subscribes to the channel so far, helping it grow. In particular, those kind people that share videos on the social media, helping the channel grow again and increasing awareness to it, because it is a bit hard to be found within the YouTube algorithm. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.